Rodgers is a fucking Jet. Let's go!
Biggie. This goes out to you. This goes out to you and you and you and you. This goes out to you. This goes
Let's
out
make
to
sure
you.
we play like the New York
This
Jets.
goes out to you and you. The door, waving the 4-4. All you heard was Papa, don't hit me no more. Kick in the door,
You
waving
play
the
to win the
4-4.
game.
All you heard was Papa,
Hello?
don't hit me no more. Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. All you heard was Papa, don't hit me no more. Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. All you heard was Papa, don't hit me no more. On your mark, get set. When I spark you wet, look how dark you get when you're marked for death. Should I start your breath or should I let you die? In fear you start to cry, ask why. Lyrically I'm worship, don't front the word sick. You cursed it, but rehearsed it. I drop.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
I just want to say thank you, everybody, for showing up. We're going to have a good...
Phil, that's for you. You know my audio is better than the New York Jets audio. I'm nice, I'm loud, I'm proud, I'm here. But I'm not alone. I am not alone. You know the co-host. You know his beautiful face. It's Sunday, it's the Lord's Day. I can't lie. You know his face. Let's put it that way. You know his face. There will be no lies told today on the show. Let's bring in my buddy, my partner in crime, my good friend, Jeremy, Mr. Jets Lounge. What's up, pal?
You see, you're a day behind me. I had my Lord's Day yesterday, so what's going on?
How are you?
Not much. I got
glad to see you again. 2 days off in July. Like we have 1 week of practice, and then they're like, "We're gonna take 2 days off." I was literally sitting there shaking for 2 days without having a practice show with you, man. Did they get into the mimosas already? The dogs seem a little
no.
rambunctious.
There's some guys that they know from next door walking by the house, so they're flipping out, wanting to say hello. But
Nice.
we got I got my people an hour and 15 minutes from now. We got some people coming over, so.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man.
And
Sounds like a fun day.
I got a Steelers fan coming, a Raiders fan.
Nice.
I'm gonna give them crap. You know, we don't play the Steelers, but I'm letting the Raiders fan know every day that we're gonna trounce them.
And Phil, that's a great point, man. It's been a multiple day thing now. Like you have to hold the phone up to your ear and not breathe in order to hear it. Jeremy and I are watching it before we go live, and I shared the YouTube page for him to see, and I put the closed captioning on to read it because you can't hear it. I don't understand how they can't fix that. Like, as good as our social media team is, you see the comments in the chat nonstop from everybody. Yeah, it's a little annoying, Bobby. Hey, Grandizer, welcome, pal.
I just want to be very clear that the only reason I watch the conference with Nick is not because I care about the content of the conference. I just want to hold Nick's hands.
That's valid.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you something. I think you'll understand. No, I can't. Actually, you can't sing that. The Beatles music is the most strictly protected music on YouTube.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah. Just singing it. They'll ban the show. Huh?
Who owns the catalog now? I know Michael Jackson had bought it.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's like it's one of the strictest ones. It's like them, Metallica. Don't mess with Metallica. Don't ever play
even say it.
Stuff.
Don't even say their name. We don't even want to take the chance.
I know they're like all over that. They don't want anybody playing their music. But yeah, you got to be careful what you play. You know, you got to be careful what you do.
Absolutely. Let's get everyone tagged. Boom. All right. So let's start off with the big story of the day, obviously, for Jets fans. Dalvin Cook at the practice facility, chumming it up with Woody Johnson, the owner. Aaron Rodgers came by after the stretching period before the team period, dapped them up. Brian Costello with an interesting tweet. I don't follow Costello, but it was in the feed because some of the people I follow commented on it. And saying that he hopes it's not Cook using the Jets to jack up the price elsewhere.
Yeah. Well,
what's your thoughts on that? Give me your thoughts. I'm going to share the stream out, so give me your thoughts on that.
I think that you have to worry about things you can control. Joe Douglas has a price and a contract in mind, a value in mind of how much Dalvin Cook is worth to him. He's not going to get emotional. He's not going to panic. He's not going to break that. We know him. We've had 3 years of him in charge. We know how he works. He has a value system. He places value on players. He doesn't let emotion get in the way. And that's the deal. So it doesn't affect us. He could be using us to jack up the price of Miami. It really doesn't matter. JD is going to simply offer him the contract that he has planned to offer him. He knows what the ceiling is. This is how high I'm going to go. And it's up to Cook. And if Cook goes to Miami and he used us to get the best price, fine. Arrivederci, it is what it is. We can't control that. All we can do is show him what the Jets are about. Show him what it would mean to play for this team. Show him how serious it is. Show him how the coaching staff is. Showing him what a great culture this is. And saying, here's what we're willing to pay you. Do you want to get on our bus or do you want to keep moving? And that's it. And I'm not going to worry about things I can't control.
Valid points. I like that. You would become public enemy number one for Jets fans. Like if you're showing up doing this, fans are chanting your name, and then you go elsewhere. Yeah, so just to take the other side of it. I hope today by like 2-3 o'clock we get an announcement. Everything's good. He's a Jet. I'm a little worried about. I don't want 2 years, 16, 2 years, 18. I'm not a fan of that number. You want to do 1 year for 8 or 9? I'm okay with it because, year 2, we expect Breece to be the monster that Breece is. So I don't want to dangle him along for 2 years and pay him that number if we don't need it. But I get it from his point. He wants the 2 years because maybe he wants the stability. So maybe that was like a sticking point. But from everything that I'm reading, it sounds like the contract is agreed to. It was a matter of him passing the physical when he was here. What do you think about those numbers?
I think they're too high. I'm not as concerned this year. Now that the Rodgers contract has worked out, we have plenty of money. If we overpay a little bit, you know what? What else do we need on the team anyway? And it gives us this great insurance policy. We have 2 true RB1s. Once Breece Hall is back, if one of them gets hurt, we know we have a true run. Like, all we need is one of them to be healthy to have a real true RB1, which is really comforting. It's good to know, especially with all the injuries and everything. We saw how fast you could lose a player when we lost Breece Hall last year. And it would be a great thing. So I don't care if we overpay a little bit this year. I don't care if they put some incentives in, where he could get grossly overpaid, because it'll be worth it if he meets those incentives. But committing money to next year is a scary thing. Maybe if it's like not guaranteed money and it's like we take a $2 million, $2.5 million cap hit if we cut him kind of thing, just to show him that we got some skin in the game to give him that stability. But if it's going to be a 2-year deal like that, then it's got to be something we can get out of, and it can't be $8-9 million per year. At this point, that's an elite running back figure. Running backs don't make that much. That means you're like top 3 or 4 in the league, and he's simply not going to be a guy getting 30 carries a game. If Breece Hall is healthy, he's going to be part of a duo. So it just doesn't make sense for us to commit so much resources to him. And I think that if Miami was willing to pay that much, he would be a Dolphin by now, if they were willing to go 2 years, $18 million.
Yeah. What's up, Anthony? Thanks for watching, brother. Appreciate the support. Friend from the IOW show, Washington fan, but he pretends he's not a supporter of mine. He's a heckler, but either way, he's here watching. Thank you, brother. 7-8 games away from a full return. Yeah, Phil, and Coach Salah brought that up today in his press conference and said Breece is a couple weeks away from a full return. You got to remember, today's 43 days till the opener. We're still 6 weeks away. So I'm curious to see if he's put on the pup That would be 12 more weeks for him. I don't want this kid to come back too soon and have any setbacks. When we get Breece, I want Breece to be as close to Breece as he can be, because we saw last year how special the kid really is. So it's going to be it's a slippery slope to walk, right? As an organization, as a head coach, the kid's been running 23 miles an hour for a couple months now. May, he was 6 months post-op, and he was running 23 miles an hour. He's cutting now. I have a cadaver ACL that they put in me in May, and they told me no golfing for 6 months because swinging and turning with a cadaver ACL can easily re-rupture because it takes a while for it to adapt to your body, your blood, and everything, and it could snap. So you got to be careful with these. As much as he thinks he can come back, one plant could be catastrophic for the kid, and that's the last thing we want.
Yeah, no, we want to be as safe as possible, and I think if we sign, that's the only reason we're talking to Cook, because not that they're concerned that Breece Hall's going to be healthy someday, but they know how. If you have any pressure to start him too soon or put too much on him too soon, you can end his career. And if we have a guy like Cook, we could PUP Breece Hall, even if we don't have to. We could give him 3 carries a game. We can let him sit the first 2 weeks out and then only give him a few carries and work him in really slow, because there's no reason. If our offensive line is intact and playing well, and Aaron Rodgers has giving us this great aerial attack with this great defense, I don't care how tough the schedule is. We are okay with Dalvin Cook as our RB1. We're okay. There's no reason to rush him back, because even though we want to win this year, you cannot put this kid's career in jeopardy. He's too special.
Yeah, 100%. The green hat is messing me up on the green screen, and it's annoying me. So I had the boy grab me a white hat, and now I look normal. So, yeah, hey, what's up, Tigo? Welcome, brother.
What's up, Tigo?
Yeah, going on with what he said. Michael Clemens says, Zach Rosenblatt just tweeted, Michael Clemens says he weighs about 285 before breakfast. Which might be the longest answer Michael Clemens has ever given at a presser.
2 words.
That might be 285 before breakfast. He's the most he's ever spoken. What are you crushing high noons already in the morning?
No, it's freaking Diet Red Bull.
Oh, okay. Some other news to come out of the press conference today is Zach Wilson's going to get the start on Thursday. We all knew he was going to be QB1 this offseason. No one was going to unseat him. And Becton will be playing too on Thursday, which was a little bit of a surprise after taking, basically the last 3.5 days off. He was back out there today doing team drills. He was in with the second team. So very curious to see. Let's think about this. These were our first picks back-to-back years who haven't lived up to the label of a first-round pick, right? And now they're starting as second stringers in a preseason game.
But there's a difference.
It's amazing that we have the expectations that we have. Normally, when you don't succeed with these picks, trains off the tracks, right?
I think there's a difference between Becton and Wilson, because Becton was off to a good start. He was showing all the potential to be an amazing pick, and then, Van Rotten rolled on his leg. And I know some of it, him recovering, is the slow recovery, getting re-injured, might be his own doing. I mean, we don't have scientific, factual evidence of it, but common sense would tell us if he would have lost that 40, 50 pounds last year and came into camp, there's a strong possibility he would not have missed last year. Yeah. So some of it is probably his own doing. But skill-wise and talent-wise, we know if he's healthy, he's perfectly capable of being an all-pro tackle. And that's the difference. With Zach, we don't know that at all, right? I mean, Zach might just be a complete flop, and it has nothing to do with his health. He's just not. He mentally isn't there.
All the reports coming out of camp, though, saying he looks much better. He's a little more consistent. The passes are more accurate. everyone's going to miss a pass every once in a while. So I'm sure
Sure.
that the way Jets fans have taken to Zach, that negativity will come out. But he's doing the right thing, man. He's, and you see Aaron Rodgers. Oh, wait a minute. Aaron Rodgers just went in on Sean Payton in a sit-down with Peter Schrags on NFL Plus. It ended with Rodgers saying Payton needs to keep my coach's name out of his mouth. A little Will Smith reference. I love our quarterback. That's the tweet from Connor.
That's a great line.
That's
a great line.
The thing I love about Rodgers, he's very well thought out with things that he says.
Okay.
He's not just going to say some stupid shit like I do for the sake of saying stupid shit.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I get the hiccup every time I'm on the show. I get excited.
Hey, I gotta run.
Okay.
But I'm glad I was able to at least hop on with you. So I guess you'll take it from here. Everybody, Jets Nation, go Jets. And I love Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. And I love you. Tigo, you want in? Tigo, if you're still in the chat, I'm going to shoot the link to you in Twitter. Give me a second again. I'm an old man. Boom, boom, boom. Let's do this real quick, and then we'll get back. Let me send that to the boys. If anyone wants in. There we go. So that's set. Back to the show. There we go. So, oh Jesus, that was the fastest I'm in I've ever seen in my life. Oh, he ain't ready yet. He got here so quick. I don't even think his connection is ready to go. Tigo, there's no picture for you. There we go. Good? Okay. I got you.
Hey, sorry.
You must have been sitting there waiting. Did you know Jeremy had to leave?
No, I just opened up the video to just be supportive, give you a view while I was doing my my recap. And
Nice.
So when you were like, "Hey, does anybody want to hop in?" Like, I'll put it in the chat because I was hearing you off to the side. I was on Twitter, tweeting my video. Like, I was literally typing out the tweet. So the message came in, and then hit my inbox, and I was like, tweet message, and I was just like, sure, I'll hop in.
I sent the tweet. I came back. I clicked on StreamYard tab to bring that up, and I heard bloop. I was like, oh my God, he's here.
Yeah.
So awesome. All right, let's talk about it. Aaron Rodgers taking a shot at Payton, saying, "Keep my coach's name out of your mouth." I love it. What's your thoughts?
It's exactly what needs to be done, what needs to be said. It is keep my coach's name out your mouth. That's it. And Payton knows that he messed up. Immediately, he knows that he messed up, and that even while objectively speaking, getting the whole he's my coach, I like him, I that's who I wanted to be my offensive coordinator, getting all of that out of the way, it doesn't change the fact that Sean Payton is walking into a situation nothing like the situation that Nathaniel Hackett walked into. Nathaniel Hackett was hired to be the head coach of the Denver Broncos because they wanted Aaron Rodgers. And when it didn't work out, they pivoted to the worst possible pivot possible in Russell Wilson, and then gave him the keys to the castle and said, hey, Nathaniel Hackett, make this guy happy. So they castrated him the moment he got there as a head coach, because the real head coach became Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
So then they have to fire Nathaniel Hackett because you can't get out from under a Russell Wilson contract. And they had to go and get the biggest fish possible because Mike McCarthy wasn't available. They got his twin in Sean Payton. And because there's this aura around Sean Payton, now there's oh my God, it was one of the worst ran organizations. Yeah, we all knew that. Top down.
Yeah.
Not just because of the head coach. Ownership, general man, every step of the way in Denver was atrocious. Don't act like you're walking into the same situation. So him punching down, absolutely just incredibly stupid of him. And this is the right thing to do from Aaron Rodgers. And I would not be surprised if, like, we saw this from other players. Alan Lazard with Peter King on CBS coming out and saying, you know, Nathaniel Hackett is one of the best coaches that I've ever worked with. You know, he is one of the biggest reasons that I'm here. Everybody talking glowingly about Nathaniel Hackett that aren't even on his team, like people from Green Bay coming out to his defense, talking about the fact that, you know what, Nathaniel Hackett is one of the best offensive coordinators I've ever worked with. People who used to play with him in Jacksonville coming to his defense. This is exactly what you want to see. It's a team galvanizing around their offensive coordinator because they believe in him, and it's reciprocated. It's only going to bring this team together. And when the guy who gave back $35 million is ready to throw punches with a head coach because he's talking about his coach, you'd love to see it.
I'm going to take a different angle with it. I'm going to go from the coaching perspective, right? You always try to find ways as a coach in a speech, in a video, some sort of message to bring your team together. To have the gift of an outside source, unsolicited, creating chemistry and bonding and the togetherness for your team, for you.
Yep.
Behind the scenes, you got to be like, thanks, Dick. Like, let's be real about it. Like, so Salah's got to be sitting there saying, you did this voluntarily. No one asked you about us. You came out. Are you that scared? Are you that worried about the Jets already? That they're living, what's the expression the kids use now? Living rent-free, right?
Yeah, the Jets are
living in your head.
rent-free in Payton's head.
Yeah.
Dude, we don't see him until week 5.
You weren't asked about the Jets.
Nope.
They're not your first game.
Nope.
You have no connection to them. It's not like you left there and went to the Denver job and people are like, oh, let's talk about what's going on over there now that you're here. There's none of that.
Dude, we don't even have any player that's been coached by him.
You handed the Jets a chemistry set and said, here, boys, put this together. Have fun. So thank you. Like, it's a dick move, but thank you. Because you see Billy Turner coming out right away with a comment on Instagram the other day. Lazard said something. Rodgers has now said something. I believe Tomlinson said something. I didn't catch wind of it. I thought maybe he had some sort of IG. I might have the wrong player. Yeah, I think I might have the name mixed up. Somebody else said something. But yeah, it's thank you, right? Like,
Salah said something. And like, again, like, it just goes to show you like the difference in coaching and like what the standard is, right? And I keep looking at it and I keep thinking about this whole situation and going, are we overvaluing Sean Payton as a coach? Are people overvaluing his resume as a head coach? Because dude's Mike McCarthy, who, like, that's it. They have the same record. Like, they're the same winning percentage. They have the same everything. Like,
one ring. You've been
with
giving some of the greatest quarterback play of all time.
With the Hall of Fame quarterback. And people like to, like, forget that because, like, a lot of people were like, oh, he turned Drew Brees into who Drew Brees was. And I'm not trying to take credit away from Sean Payton's role on what happened to Drew Brees. But let's not act like Drew Brees wasn't a really good quarterback in San Diego. San Diego moved on because they had an opportunity to take a quarterback number 1 overall. And they saw the value of Eli Manning instead of paying Drew Brees, who was on the last year of his contract.
Yeah.
They moved on because he had an injury history. He had 2 major injuries before seeing the end of his career in San Diego.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
Like, dude was comeback player of the year in San Diego, had MVP votes, and was 5th in offensive player of the year voting a year before they moved on from him.
Yeah.
So it's just like, dude, when you get a Hall of Fame quarterback and you can only win 1 ring.
Yeah, I'm
don't forget those 7 and 9 seasons sprinkled in there all the time. Like, I'm not trying to take anything away from Sean Payton. I don't know Sean Payton. I haven't followed the New Orleans Saints all that well. Drew Brees was one of my favorite quarterbacks growing up, but that was like in spirit. I didn't really follow the Saints at all.
Yeah.
But when you look at the numbers, when you look at the situation, when you look at those teams, and they were only able to win one ring, it's surprising, especially with a NFL record holding quarterback like Drew Brees. And then Drew Brees leaves and then he just quits. I don't know. There's a lot of question marks there.
Are we looking at Bill Belichick 2.0? Are we looking at someone that without the quarterback, let's throw it out there now, right? We're on the Payton discussion. He's made himself part of the Jets world. So let's talk about it.
He put the target on his back. He did it to himself.
Yeah. Let's discuss it. What if he throws out a 6-11 season this year?
Well, that's exactly what those comments at the beginning of the season were for, right? It's to cover up the fact that when this team goes 6-11, 7-10, 5-12, whatever it is, it's to be able to say, well, I was handed a dumpster fire. And this year was a year about putting the fire out. It's biding time until he can get out from under Russell Wilson.
But let me ask you this. To quote Sean Payton, it's one of the worst coaching jobs I've ever seen. What if you go in with the same fucking record this year? Are you saying that you're one of the worst coaches we've ever seen? You did the same record. You hyped the team up. You made improvements. What's your job then? You go 7-10. You improve by 1 or 2 games. Aren't you on par with the worst coaching job you've ever seen?
Especially when you set the standard of playoffs. You said it unprovoked. You weren't asked. Unprovoked, you said this is a playoff team and the hardest division in football. You said this is a playoff team. So when you go 6-11, we know you're going to get at least one loss week 5. We're going in there.
Right? I don't even know their schedule. You're losing twice to the Chiefs. You're losing twice to the Chargers. You're losing to the Bills, the Jets, and the Dolphins. Patriots might be able to get you. I don't know where that game is. But you're losing.
The problem with the Patriots it's going to be a game of defenses, is whose offense is going to get a field goal first. That game is going to end 6-3, 3-0, and it's going to be a game of defenses. And I am never going to take anything away from Denver's defense. Sean Payton doesn't touch that side of the ball. Patrick Surtain is, in my opinion, the best cornerback in football. This is me trying to take away my Jets bias. And they've got a really, really good defense there. And so it's going to be a hard out. The real reason that you look at it like they're not going to win is they're not going to score points on offense. That's it. They're just not going to.
I got you.
Cortland Sutton is going to be traded at the deadline. He's gone. And Jerry Jeudy hasn't shown enough to really be solidified as a wide receiver 1. I think you're right. 7 losses right off of the top, just those teams that you mentioned, makes a ton of sense. They're not beating
the schedule.
They're not beating the Chargers or the Chiefs.
Maybe you get lucky and the Chargers got to come there in the winter and there's snow or something and it just runs
with the elevation.
But I don't see them being capable of defeating any of the teams I just listed, and I don't even know who they play in the NFC yet. So I don't know how you're going to pump your chest out with this. You think you still have your Fox hat on? I think you've been taking too many bong rips with your teenage son.
I think what happened is what Billy Turner said. I think this was a calculated piece of – Sean Payton is very intentional with how he does speak, right?
Agreed.
He doesn't – this was this team is not good. It's just not good.
Yeah.
You don't have the offensive line to protect the quarterback well enough, who needs a protective quarterback. Jared Stidham is the backup. We don't have the running back room. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Javonte Williams and Samaje Perine as a combo, but that's not anything to, write home about. This offensive line isn't going to do all that much.
Yeah.
And so I look at this team and I go, I have no idea how we're going to win a bunch of games, really. Yeah. We need to hope that Randy Gregory, Patrick Surtain, Justin Simmons, that our defense carries us, because I don't see how we're going to score points on offense. And if we can't score points, and I'm the offensive quarterback whisperer, I've got to start deflecting the blame somehow, because I'm just Mike McCarthy reincarnated, and I can't be him. Dude, Mike McCarthy's in Dallas, and we don't even talk about him in Dallas. We talk about the defensive coordinator more. We talk about Quinn way more. And there is a legitimate shot that we're going to see that in Denver.
Yeah. Something else that sticks out in my mind, the biggest concern for me with looking at the Broncos, Russell Wilson has never been a precision, timing, get the ball out on time type of passer. He's been a guy who likes to hold it, maneuver around. I think there's been several years where he has the longest release rate or release time in the NFL. He likes to move around. He likes to create something, and that's when Russ is at his best. I've never seen Sean Payton coach somebody like that. He's
only coached Drew Brees
as a head coach. I mean, he had Eli. He had Kurt Warner, right? He was with the Giants. He was part of the Giants offensive staff back then. But he's never had a mobile guy. He's never been on a staff that's had a mobile guy.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Nope.
When he was with the Cowboys at one point too with Parcells?
I don't know his career like that. I know that he became the head coach in 2005.
It was Vinny. It was Quincy Carter.
Yep.
I mean, you're looking at guys like Quincy was a little mobile, but not an elite quarterback. So when I look at Russell Wilson and I look at what he's done throughout his career, I think it's the worst freaking match for Sean Payton. Xavier, thank you for subbing to the channel. I got the notification. If you're here, thank you, man. Enjoy your stay. We have a good time here. We do, for those watching, we do on this channel here every day. As soon as Coach Salah's press conference ends, we go live. We do a practice recap. We do a press conference recap. Talk about the events of the day. We love not talking about the I word. There's no injuries. We don't discuss that. It doesn't happen. The Jets are going to be the healthiest team in the NFL this year. Praise Jesus, please, on your Lord's Day.
I just saw the Denver schedule, and they're gonna walk away with so many wins just because they got so lucky with the AFC. They got so lucky with the NFC North and the AFC South. So, like, you're going to beat the Texans. You're going to beat the Colts. You have a shot of beating the Titans because the Titans. Then you're going to beat the Bears. They're probably going to beat Green Bay.
They don't play our entire division?
They do.
So how are they playing the whole
AFC? No, they don't. They don't play our – yeah, they do. So their schedule goes Vegas – they play the NFC East. No, they don't play the NFC East, but they have Washington. That's a win.
That's the 17th game. That's the NFC extra one game.
So they play Washington, then Miami, then Chicago, then us, Kansas City, Green Bay, Kansas City, bye week, Buffalo, Minnesota, Cleveland, Houston, the Chargers, the Lions, the Patriots, the Chargers again at the end of the year, and then Vegas to end the season. So they play the NFC
North,
the AFC South, and the AFC East?
No, they should only have one game in the AFC South. There's 4 with us.
You're right. You're absolutely right. The Texans are the fourth. They're the fourth place.
They should play the AFC South and the AFC North, the same team that finished in last place as them. So they have the Texans and the Browns?
And the Browns. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Them.
I saw the Texans and the Browns, and I put them in the same division for some reason.
Okay.
That's my mistake.
I think 7 wins.
But they've got easy wins. They can beat the Patriots.
Where is that
Houston
game?
and Cleveland at home in December. The day it's Christmas Eve.
Oh, nice.
I'll
be happy whoever loses that game.
They can beat Green Bay. They beat Chicago and Washington. And they probably beat up on Vegas twice. They have 7 wins, 8 wins on their schedule.
Yeah.
If they can beat Vegas twice, again, it's about beating the teams that they can beat.
Yeah.
But again, it's not that much better.
Okay.
It's not that much better. They still are going to lose.
I would be shocked if they're competing for a playoff spot. I think they'll be out of it by Thanksgiving.
Yep.
I really, truly do. I can't see them beating us, the Bills, the Dolphins. If those teams go in healthy and have their mojo going, I can't see the Broncos lining up and beat it. Yes, they got a defense that can compete. They got a defense that can help their offense. I just don't think you're going to see enough of the offense to help them. And I can't see Wilson, after 12, 13 years in the league, changing his stripes and all of a sudden becoming a catch the ball, fire it type of quarterback that's never been who he is. So, but enough about them. and their train wreck.
Yep.
Zach Rosenblatt with a tweet. Here we go. Some Jets takeaways from practice today. He had Aaron Rodgers 9 of 15 and a touchdown in team drills. Tough stretch in a move the ball run at the end of practice. Reed with the pass breakup. Carter with a drop. Conklin completion. Might have been a sack. A throwaway. A Lazard drop. A Hardman completion and a throwaway. The completion to McCall Hardman was a quintessential Rodgers. Threw it quickly after snapping the ball and hit him. His quick throws are going to be a dangerous weapon for the offense this year. Rodgers drew 2 offsides penalties against the defense. Garrett Wilson has a lower ankle injury. He watched practice from the sideline. His right ankle taped up. Seemed like it's not a long-term thing. Zach Wilson didn't have a great day. Had him 4 for 8, 3 incompletions in a row and a move the ball, all inaccurate throws. Bam Knight has still looked like the best running back in camp. Would-be sacks. Bryce Huff, JJ, Deslin Alexandre. Is it Alexander and he spelled it wrong?
Yep.
Or did that?
No, it's Alexander. That's how it's spelled.
Okay. Will McDonald came close, and Brandon Eccles came close on a blitz. Joe Tittman had a bad snap to Chris Streveler early in 11-on-11, still running third team. And Greg Zuerlein missed his first field goal of camp, he thinks, from 53. So give me what pops out in your head there.
So actually, there's a piece of news that pops out here with all the would-be sacks. I don't know about if you know this or not, but Jermaine Johnson.
Tune it in, bro.
Jermaine Johnson took a majority of the first team snaps today over Carl Lawson.
Yeah.
Carl Lawson was running with the 2s because Jermaine Johnson's camp has been so dominant. His camp has been so dominant that they promoted him to the first team to get the reps. And that's crazy to think that Carl Lawson is running with our 2s. And there's that. The other thing that my takeaway is that the defense is still beating the offense. That's the biggest takeaway here.
And that always happens, right?
Yeah, but I think you're going to keep seeing that like throughout all of practice this year because the defensive line is way better than the offensive line. Like with Mekhi Becton running with the 2s, Max Mitchell running with the 1s as the left tackle, Billy Turner as the right tackle for the 1s. There's a lot of things that are not ideal right now because Dwayne Brown is hurt.
Yeah.
Because Dwayne Brown isn't healthy yet. There's a lot of situations, there's a lot of matchups that are being played that aren't ideal. Like, as a Max Mitchell truther, and my expectation is that he starts on the right side week 1. He's the starting right tackle.
Yeah.
With that being said, it does not change the fact that Billy Turner, I don't think is good enough to make this roster. And he's getting reps with the 1s. This is another one of those things where it's a coach picking on their favorite kind of player. Like, I don't think, like, I get it. We're working out Mekhi Becton slowly and getting him back up to speed. And we're going to give him game reps on Thursday, which is good. Just see him and give him those reps. It's exactly what we want. I'm not reading too much into the fact that he's running with the 2s right now. But with Dwayne Brown out, it really throws a big wrench into what we're seeing from our offensive tackles because Carter Warren is running with the 3s. Billy Turner should not be a right tackle, should not be a tackle on this team. So what does that mean for the rest of this offensive line? The interior of the offensive line, we know exactly what it's going to be week 1. Connor McGovern, Lincoln Tomlinson, and Elijah Vera Tucker. That's going to be your interior offensive line week 1. We know that. But we have no idea what's going to happen at the tackle, and that's a problem. Outside of Dwayne Brown starting at left tackle, assuming that he gets healthy in time. And again, we got months. It's way too early to hit the panic button. But still, I'm starting to look at the offensive tackles and starting to the heat is turning up just a little bit.
I'm very interested in watching Thursday because they said Coach said Becton will play.
And Zach will play.
Zach is starting, and Becton will be there. He'll be starting as well.
Yep.
My buddy Matt asks, any news on Dalvin Cook? He's there. He was out at practice today. He was talking to the owner, Woody Johnson. He came out with some, I think the running back coach was with him for a bit.
Breece was out there too talking to him.
Yeah.
Aaron pulled up to the side to talk to him.
Aaron went over after stretching and dapped him up, as the kids say, and then talked to him for a minute before getting over with the team activities. And I mean, it's just a matter of wait and see now. Like, there's going to be news like by 2-3 o'clock, they've come to terms, or he left the facility. You know, the media is sitting there waiting. They're watching the front door right now.
Yep. Literally, Zach
Yeah.
Rosenblatt is literally outside of the facility in his car waiting to see what happens.
I just saw Connor tweet the picture of him leaning on the front of the building. What's up, Hank? Thanks for joining, brother. So, I mean, I think it's
us or Miami, and it's about whether it's about him picking money, or it's either he's going to pick money or chasing a ring. That's the reality, right?
You leave here today. I'm pulling the contract offer.
Yeah, no,
and I'm going to
sign it now or go to Miami.
That's me. This offer is on the table right now. You walk out that door, it will not be the same offer if you need to come back here. That's me. We're not going to play a part of charade. We're not going to play a part of a game. You're here. You're in the building. We've made it known we want you. We've made it a contract offer that you've agreed to. You were here for the physical. You were here to check out the culture. We know if the physical
set it on
well,
meetings.
we know the culture is going to be set. You know that the culture is going to show well. You're going to love the coach. You're going to love the quarterback. You're going to love the chemistry that this team has, seeing them work together.
Don't forget, he's got an ex-teammate on this team. Tyler Conklin and him work together in Minnesota.
Yeah. Conklin's been very vocal about trying to get him here and speaking with him. So if you walk out today and you don't have a deal, I pull the deal. That's me. And then we'll start from scratch. Because now you don't have our contract offer to leverage against anybody else. Go fuck yourself. That's just me. That's how I am. But that's why I'm not running a football team. I'm too emotional.
Yeah. It's one of those things that I look at it and I go, like, it's just about role. I think the biggest thing that he's contemplating right now is role. Because of the fact that if he comes to the New York Jets, he is clearly running back one with a massive asterisk on it. Because the moment Breece Hall is healthy, which I'm hoping is week 5, the moment that Breece Hall is at 100%, he goes to running back 2. He knows that for sure, 100%, that if he comes here, he is running back 1 until Hall is healthy.
Yeah.
And he wants to get another contract. He wants to get another big contract. But if he goes to Miami, he's running back 1 immediately. Because he beats out Mostert, Wilson, Shane, Gaskin, all those. He's running back 1 immediately. And so it's contemplating do I want to play with the greatest thrower of the football with a top 5 defense, with an offense that is absolutely loaded, and an offense that is going to highlight my skill set?
Yeah.
Or do I want to go be running back 1 in a team that passes first?
Yeah.
As much as possible. Because how do you not pass first with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle?
Yeah. Let me jump into this. NFL just came out with an article about Rodgers' comments. I'm going to just read the quotes. Yeah, I love Nathaniel Hackett, and those comments were very surprising for a coach to do that to another coach. I thought it was way out of line, inappropriate, and I think he needs to keep my coach's name out of his mouth. My love for Hack goes deep. You know, we had some great years together in Green Bay. We kept in touch, love him and his family. He's an incredible family man and an incredible dad. And on the field, he's arguably my favorite coach I've ever had in the NFL. Just his approach to it, he makes it fun, how he cares about the guys, just how he goes about his business with respect, with leadership, with honesty, with integrity. Rodgers clearly felt like Payton's comments didn't reflect on the coach he knows well. It made me feel that bad that someone who's accomplished a lot in this league is that insecure that they have to take another man down to set themselves up from sort of easy fall if it doesn't go well for that team this year. Same thing we just said, right? Like you're trying to lessen the blow. I had one of those moments where it's still that's Payton's quote. And now I got a message. Boom, boom, boom. From Bleacher Report saying Rodgers sends message. Everybody's got. Boom. Sorry, I'm trying to scan this real quick. I don't know why Bleacher Report sent out an alert with a headline that's just like clickbait. There wasn't much substance to the article. So
I just listened to while you were listening to the whole situation. It was how he said it. It wasn't like as aggressive as we're making it. That's my quarterback.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I can say, because he goes and he defends Hackett as a man first, as a coach second, takes his shots at Payton in the respectful FU way that he could, right? In the most respectful FU way that he could. And then on top of that, goes and says, you shouldn't be talking about other coaches, especially not mine. So you better stop it, or I'm going to drop 50 on you week 5.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. You know, that's his boy. Let's be real about it. That's his boy. Give me 1 sec. I'm just replying to this. Yeah. Michael Clemens had had some podium time today.
Yep. I think in the whole thing, he said 9 words.
He did.
His biggest press conference ever. The most words ever said.
I'm looking for it right now.
285 before breakfast is so good.
Yeah. And then they asked him, Michael Clemens, on what he wants to show in the first preseason game. After a long pause, he says that the Jets have a fucking monster. That's his new longest response to a question that I've heard.
Yeah.
Matt asked, what if he starts with 400 or 500 yards rushing in the first 5 weeks with 4 TDs and another 2 TDs receiving with 18 catches just for shits and giggles?
Good for him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, great for us. That means that we were ahead in games early so that we could run the ball a ton.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
Yeah.
Doesn't change the fact that he's not as good as Breece Hall.
Yeah. It has to be known that when Hall is ready to go, this is Hall's job. And you are here to mentor.
Job to lose.
You're here to mentor. You're here to fill those shoes until he's ready to go. But when Hall is 95%, it's Hall's show.
No, Dalvin Cook's signing is for you to keep Breece Hall out until he's 100%. Not 95, not 99, not 99.9. If that means we have to wait till week 8, I'll wait till week 8. If that means we have to wait till the bye week, I'll wait till the bye week. The thing with this whole Breece Hall situation is I do not care about the first 8 weeks. It's the reality of this situation. I don't care about weeks 1 through 8 in terms of having Breece Hall. I care about weeks 10 to 21. Those are the weeks that matter. We can go 8 weeks, and this is way too long. I don't think he's going to need all this time. But we can go 6, 7 weeks without Breece Hall. That's why I'm for put him on IR early. So that he can't force the
IR is 4 weeks, right? Pup
mandatory
6,
4
IR
weeks.
is 4.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Put him on IR early. You know? I would, if there's I don't know about all the different injury designations, but like, if there's a 6-week one, is there a long-term IR for football?
There's PUP to start the season, which is 6 weeks. And then there's a short-term IR, which I believe is 4.
Okay.
You have to be declared on one when you start the season because you have to figure out.
I put him on the PUP list. Like immediately. I put him on the PUP list. Because that brings him back week 8, because remember our bye week is week 7. That brings him back week 8. And while, yes, going up against Buffalo, Dallas, Kansas City, Philadelphia, not ideal without Breece Hall, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with it. We need to walk out of the first 6 weeks 3-3. That's it. Because the back half of the schedule,
We can run.
we dominate.
We
dominate.
We could really, really.
Like I'm not going to take anything away from Buffalo, Kansas City, or Philadelphia. Those are really, really, really hard outs. Now, while technically speaking, we can beat the Buffalo Bills.
Philadelphia is week 6, right? Philadelphia is week 6.
Yeah. While technically speaking, we definitely are in a position to beat the Buffalo Bills. We almost did it twice last year with Zach Wilson, and now we have Aaron Rodgers, and Buffalo did not get better in my estimation. While we definitely can beat Buffalo, and I expect a win week 1, like it's still, we should be able to beat Dallas. They're a dominant defense. It's one of those things of if you count losses against Kansas City and Philly, and then you say it's a 50-50 between a loss between Buffalo and Dallas, I think we beat Denver and New England easy. We got to walk away 3-3 from the first 6 weeks because we run the second half of the schedule after the bye week.
Yeah. I think that opener, and I'm not saying this to be arrogant. We're Jets fans. We have no reason to be arrogant or cocky or have like a false bravado, right? I just think all things considered, Rodgers' debut, home opener on a Monday night, which we don't ever get night games at home that mean anything. It's usually a Thursday night with Jacksonville when we're both stuck. Rodgers' debut, the uniforms, the stadium wrapped in the old logo, the electricity of that, the fan base has been clamoring for a quarterback, for these uniforms. There's going to be an energy that
MetLife for the first time in its history
seen in a very long time.
MetLife is going to shake.
I'm
Northern New Jersey.
34-17. I've been on this for 3 months now. 34-17 Jets in the opener.
But yeah,
we're built to beat the Bills. They couldn't
I don't
do
disagree. I agree. I think we're built to
We beat them with Zach Wilson. What the hell do you think we're going to do with Aaron Rodgers?
We almost beat him a second time with Zach Wilson, and that's with no AVT and no Breece.
That was
Mike White.
The second game. White got speared.
Oh yeah, if he doesn't get folded in half.
But that was 22-9. We had no offense, and you only scored 22 points. Michael Carter doesn't fumble. The game is different. We're going to punch one in. Yeah.
It was 22-12.
And 9-11, Matt, you're right. Snowball, what's up, brother?
Oh yeah, 9-11. Forgot it's the 9-11 game. Dude, there's too many things going for New York in that situation.
Storm. It's the perfect
It is
storm.
The worst case scenario for the Buffalo Bills because you're coming into a New York that's motivated by throwback jersey, motivated by Aaron Rodgers, motivated by the fact that we beat you guys once last year and almost a second time last year. Dude, you're not stopping it.
Dude, I'm telling you this. I'm excited. I'm hoping I can be there. I'm not getting a ticket early, but
I already got my ticket.
The token. Yeah, I know. You're lucky. You have all your toes. You're not waiting for a wound to close and heal that you can put your foot down. I can't. I could get to the stadium. I can get the security that we feed all the time to get me a golf cart to drive me up there. But getting into the stadium, getting around the bowl to the section and in and out of the section, I can't do it unless I can walk. And after the knee surgery, the leg was already weak. And then I started doing therapy for 4 weeks, build the muscle back in the calf and the quad and the hamstring. And now it's completely mush again. And I can't restart therapy until the toe closes. So I might just have to go to like ShopRite or Target and steal one of their motorized carts and bring it with me to get around the stadium and just tell them we got to deal with it. I want to just address this. If you bench him for Hall, well, you don't bench him right away, man. You do them as you do it the tandem, you do the combo, you do the 1-2 punch, and you let Hall dictate when Hall is going to be the dude. You know, Hall came in last year. He averaged 5.8 yards a carry in 7 games, right? Because 5-2. Yeah, we were 5-2 after Denver. So in the first 7 games, he was averaging 5.8 yards a carry. You'll know Breece Hall is ready to go when it's the eye test, right? You could talk all you want. You could say all you want. Coach Salah said today we expect him to get cleared a couple weeks after the Denver game. That would be Adrian Peterson-like to get cleared 9 months after surgery.
Yeah.
He had the surgery in November. He got hurt in October, rehab for 4 weeks, had the surgery mid-November.
Yep.
He gets cleared in August. He's getting cleared 9 months after surgery. Adrian Peterson has his in January, and was cleared in late July or early August, and was there for the opener, and like looked like he never had surgery.
He's the exception.
Breece Hall is the unicorn like Peterson. Maybe he's in that situation where they just recovered differently than normal people.
And again, that's totally in the realm of possibility, but I'm going to go off of the recent examples. You know, I'm going to go off of Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, J.K. Dobbins, all guys that had really. J.K. Dobbins isn't healthy yet, man. He's still not fully practicing with the Ravens.
I know.
Because they rushed him back last year. Like, I got to get out of here because of the kiddo. It was fun. Good seeing you again.
He's up. You hear the cries?
No, I just need to go help my wife with some stuff. She was watching.
Got you. I appreciate you chiming in, man. Those of you who don't know, Talking Jets with Tigo on YouTube, Twitter. Follow him. Good friend of mine, good friend of the show. So show him some love. Thanks, brother. And I'm sure we'll talk in the chat all day. Chat will blow up when Dalvin Cook signs.
We'll talk again in like an hour and a half once the signing happens. And
we don't take that long.
What number is he going to wear?
We're not waiting that long. I'll have a message from you within 5 minutes.
Yep. All right. You have a good one, man.
Joining. Snowball. I'm going to say 5. I'm going to go with 5 sacks. You got to remember, we're going to have more sacks because we're going to have a lead. Some of us might have to Google that word and the definition of having a lead in an NFL game. But we're going to have leads, which are going to, instead of the other teams running it out, first and second down, sometimes even third, sometimes they didn't even get the third down on us. 2 runs got them first downs with how poor our defense was throughout the years. You know, just think, 18 months ago, we were the 32nd ranked defense. And now we're talking about having one of the best defenses we've ever had. It's amazing how quickly this turnaround has taken place. So I'm going to go with 5. Yeah, Phil, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I think that defense feeds off of energy. The crowd is going to ignite this team. I was there last year for the home opener against Baltimore. That crowd was electric. Sadly, Joe Flacco couldn't get anything going, and it kind of tapered off by mid-second quarter. But that crowd was nuts last year for that Baltimore game. This is going to be playoff atmosphere. This is going to be an energy that us as Jets fans haven't seen since that Ryan Fitzpatrick New England win, the Rex years in 09 and 10. We're gonna have a hell of a ride here. I expect a lot of people not to have a voice until midweek, later in the week. Early 2000s when I would go, I wouldn't have a voice till Thursday or Friday. I'd get it back, and then I'd lose it again on Sunday if we had back-to-back home games. So we'll see. Oh, not much longer, Matt. It's already been an hour. I got Nikki here with me who's getting antsy to do stuff. So I'm going to be wrapping up in a few minutes. You know, as long as there's questions coming in from the chat, I'll answer a few more. So, you know, see, we got 25 people watching. Guys, if you got any questions, you got anything you want to talk about, please throw it in the chat. Let's discuss. I'm trying to see if there's any new news. Or a little tweet from Connor Hughes. A few takeaways from Jets camp. If this is repetitive or a little bit of the same of what Zach Rosenblatt had, I apologize. All eyes were on Dalvin Cook, whose visit with the Jets included taking in practice. Christopher and Woody Johnson, Joe Douglas, Rex Hogan, Aaron Rodgers, Jermaine Johnson, and others all spent time with the Pro Bowl back. Cook will also take a physical as part of his meet and greet with the team, Salah said. There's strong mutual interest. It's just a matter of both sides getting the dollar and cents to work. The Dolphins also remain interested. Connor says, I'm curious to see what happens to the Jets backfield if they do sign Cook. Essentially, who's the man out? Cook, Hall, whom Salah said is a couple weeks from returning, and Izzy, this year's draft pick, are roster locks. The Jets will probably keep 4 backs, so that leaves Bam Knight and Michael Carter competing for 1 spot. In my opinion, and this is me adding, I agree with this, Carter is the odd man out. Knight has shown more. And Knight does something different than the other guys because he's more physical than Carter. I think Carter is very similar to Cook. So having Cook come in really hurts Carter, who's a great locker room guy and a great leader. Thank you. Boom. Garrett Wilson didn't practice with a low ankle sprain. I'm told he should be back inside a week, which is very good. Major good sign. He was on the sideline, was not in a walking boot. Other quick injury notes. Mekhi Becton and Alan Lazard were back. Corey Davis will be on Monday. Randall Cobb was in uniform but didn't do team drills. He's getting healthy. I don't know if they removed him from the PUP list yet. Becton will play against the Browns, his first action since the opener against the Panthers 2 years ago, which is nuts. Zach Wilson will start at QB. None of the starters will play. Rodgers finished today 8 of 13 with a touchdown. Lazard dropped 2 of those passes. He made up for it, though, with a tremendous back shoulder catch over Whitehead from the 15-yard line. It was a great pitch and catch. Something to keep an eye on. Rodgers, hard count, got the defense to jump twice. We've seen Rodgers connect twice with Tyler Conklin in the red zone. Today, it went to McCall Hardman for a big gainer to the Jets in field goal range and in a drive the field, end of half drill. CJ Uzoma said so much of it's understanding what the QB's drop is and what they would work on specific look. It's working well so far. Final note, Todd Downing, not Nathaniel Hackett, has been calling plays during training camp. Salah said this is because come the regular season, Hackett will be in the booth. Hackett will then call the play to Downing, who will relay it to Rodgers on the field. Salah wants Rodgers to get used to hearing Downing's voice. This, in my opinion, seems complicated. Why not just have Hackett relay it to Rodgers? I agree. We're going to discuss that. I'm almost done. Eliminate the middleman. Salah said it's done both ways, and while usually less is more, this should work fine. We'll see. So, yeah, that's a lot. Great wrap-up by Connor Hughes there. Let me catch up in the chat real quick, and then we'll discuss that. Will Sherwood make the grade? Sherwood starting. Sherwood is your second linebacker or third linebacker. It's going to be Quincy, CJ, and Sherwood. I think you see Sherwood a lot more on the passing downs, Quincy on the rundowns. CJ barely comes off the field. So the two of those are going to be interesting. Jonathan Taylor wants a contract, $14-15 million a year. I don't think the Jets even entertain that. I don't. You don't need to pay him that. I'm against the 2 years, $8-9 million for Cook. I think it should be around 6 or 7 with some incentives, either team-based or personal-based. That's my opinion. I would be shocked if the Jets make a move for Jonathan Taylor. I'd be happy, but I would be very surprised. Dewey, X, Rex, etc. It's weird getting used to because I'm looking for the alerts and I'm going for the tab and I'm looking for the the bright blue and not seeing it. So it's a little different. Sherwood with the great. Yeah, definitely. Oh, you fixed the spelling. Rusty, what's up, brother? Did we sign Ariaza? I don't think we did. I think Moorhead is the punter. I'm not sure. I know there was talks. Oh, roster. Boom. Let's go roster, position. Let's find punter. O-line, QB. Jesus Lord, where is it? I'm trying to look for the wide receivers. Anyone in the chat now? Tight end, tackle, safety, running back, quarterback. Where the hell is punter? Everything's listed alphabetically. All right, let's go by name. No, Arias is not on the team. He's not.
I have no problem having 2 punters. So I think MC is gone. Yeah, agreed. I also think we signed Evans or Dante and trade Corey and JD. We trust. Let's go. I really think if the Raiders start off 1-4, you're going to see Devontae Juan out of there. I don't see Jimmy Garoppolo feeding Devontae the ball like Devontae's used to. He went to Vegas to be with his best friend, Derek Carr, and they cut him and got rid of him. I can't see Devontae being very happy there. I really honestly don't. So it's something worth keeping an eye on. Rodgers gave back $35 million. This could be a reason why. It's the first 2 years for Devontae's contract are very manageable. I think it's 14 and 17 cap hits. Right now, we can handle that. You bring him here. Maybe you do a restructuring right away. But years 3 and 4, I think, are 34, 44 million. It really, really explodes. But I'm not against it. You go get Devontae Adams and put him and Wilson together. You just surpassed the Miami Dolphins, in my opinion, with the best wide receiver tandem in the NFL. And you have the best cornerback tandem in the NFL with Reed and Gardner. So, and the D-line could be up there in the conversation too. It's insane how quickly this team has turned around from what we've seen just 18 months ago. We were pathetic. I'm in a situation. Yeah, Matt, Irsay came out and said, I'm not fucking trading him. So I kind of like that with all these guys forcing their ways. I do like the owner that says, no, too bad. Suck it up. Play or sit out. Yeah, Punk God didn't get offered anything. Yeah, they brought him in. We thought they were going to do it. And I remembered it, but the last couple months have been a little chaotic for me. So there's some things I've missed out on in life. Boom, boom. Give me a second. I got my buddy chiming in. So, chat, I'm throwing it out to you. It's almost wrap-up time. I'd like to throw it out to the chat at the end. Give me any other questions. Let's see, we got a bunch of people in here still. Say hello. Any new subscribers? Anybody new to the channel, please subscribe. Every day when Coach Salah's press conference ends, I go live immediately. I usually co-host with Jets Chaos, Jets Lounge Chaos, whatever. I keep forgetting the order. My buddy Jeremy, who I co-host with on Wednesday nights. We do a wrap-up show. We discuss practice, the press conference with Coach, any news that comes out that day. Looking to find a little niche at night to find a show. So that's very, you would have given me a million guesses. I would have never guessed this popping up in the chat, but I love it. I'm going to watch Footloose. Fantastic movie. So, yeah, please subscribe, get the alerts. That way, as soon as we go live, you're watching the Coach Salah press conference, I'll shoot the alert out, and you can join in here right away. Roberto, welcome to the channel, brother. I love the logo. God, you see behind me. I love that logo, man. That logo. And shout out to those that have seen Weed the People 732. He designed this, tagged me on Twitter on it, and as soon as I saw it, I said, that's my new backdrop for when I go live. So shout out to him. Oh, damn you. Damn you, I did, because I actually liked the movie. That was evil, man. That was well done, but evil. Our starting O-line, if Brown is healthy, Brown is left tackle, Tomlinson's left guard, McGovern center, AVT at right guard, and I'm going to put Max Mitchell at right tackle. I'm going to use Becton as a sixth offensive lineman. I'm going to use him as my first backup, and I'm going to use him as a tight end and that sixth offensive lineman, and we do these packages where now you have Becton coming in motion and just exploding till we run those stretch run games. He can knock the defensive end into the linebackers, and then you pull AVT around him. You have Max Mitchell down block, and now you got AVT coming out. It's going to be really exciting, I think. I can't for the life of me right now. I could be wrong, but as of today, as of July 30th, I can't put Becton out there to protect Aaron Rodgers' backside. He's got to earn that. He's got to dominate the preseason. He's got to be throwing guys around. He's got to be pancaking. He's got to be doing a lot to show I deserve to be out there. Go get it. You have the talent. You have the size. You have the athleticism. You have the strength. You just haven't been able to stay healthy. There's no knock on your talent. There's a knock on your availability. Go prove us wrong. Now, I'm not one of these people who attacks players. I get embarrassed when I see people on Twitter attacking players. Like, it's just disgusting. It's not my style. It's not my take. But go prove us wrong. Go have the best camp that any lineman's ever had. I want you to succeed. If Mekhi Becton is healthy and playing, the Jets are in a very good situation. You want to have a competition and not at the bottom of it of, oh, it's this guy or this guy. You want to have this guy's playing so well. Now, hold up. This guy's playing so well. So we'll see. Roberto, thank you, man. Like I said, man, please sign up. And I hope you enjoy the content that we push out here. Got a good group of friends and guests that come on with us talking Jets. If you're common to the Jets content creators, Buffalo Jet fan, Jets Chaos, Dom C will pop on. Tigo was just on. I just got Matt O'Leary to agree to come on one day this week. He's at camp today, so today didn't work for him. But we were messaging last night, and he's going to come on one day this week. Trying to get Boy Green, Paul on. He chops up videos of the press conference right away, so trying to work something out with him. Trying to build the channel, man. I've had a lot of crap going on in life, and I'm finally just fully committing to putting all the time and efforts into this channel to make it as good as it can be, giving you guys some good content. It's going to be a fun season. It's going to be a lot of excitement around this team, and everyone's going to be thirsty for Jet content 24/7 every single day. So trying to figure out our niche. Jeremy and I co-host on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock on his channel, Jets Lounge, and trying to find where I'm going to do a live show as well after the training camp practice shows end. So we'll have some news coming out in the upcoming weeks. Yeah. No, I do, Matt, but I legitimately thought you were going to watch the movie. Like that's how happy I was, and that's how much I liked the movie. Yeah, Nikki Nine Toes in the house, baby. I hope Tittman beats out McGovern. Rusty, it could happen. And I think Tittman could earn the job some point throughout the season. But I'm not going to hand the job to him unless it's clearly cut and it's his job. So I can't put Aaron Rodgers at risk with a rookie center who's trying to figure out the language of the plays, the checks, the protection calls, and keeping Aaron Rodgers happy. He had a bad low snap today to Strevler working with the threes. So Schweitzer's the backup right now. That's the first move, right? When Tittman moves up beyond Schweitzer. If he doesn't pass Schweitzer and work with the twos, I mean, there's no discussion at all about him being the starter. So we'll see. It's going to be fun. It's still early. One thing that bothers me, I wanted to bring up. The Jets had the extra week this year. They have the Hall of Fame game, so you get to open camp a week earlier. From my understanding, and if I'm wrong, I know you guys will correct me. From my understanding, they didn't take the extra practices. They have the same amount of practices as last year, even though the camp opened up a week earlier. I don't know if that's an NFL sanction that you open up earlier and you get more days off, or if you can capitalize and take more days, because they had off Friday and Saturday after 7-8 days of practice. Not even. They had a day off last week. So they've had 3 days off in 10 days. So I'm just curious as to why. I would love if somebody asked Coach that question, to be honest. But all right, everyone. I want to thank everybody for watching, all the new subs, all the people who are new to the channel. It's going to be a fun season. Like I said, every day, Coach's Presser ends. Come right over to Proud New York Jets fans, and we'll cover everything. We'll wrap it up for you. And as always, be loud, be proud, New York Jets fans. Take care, everyone. Thanks again.
Rodgers is a fucking Jet. Let's go!
Biggie. This goes out to you. This goes out to you and you and you and you. This goes out to you. This goes
Let's
out
make
to
sure
you.
we play like the New York
This
Jets.
goes out to you and you. The door within the 4-4. All you heard was Papa, don't hit me no more. Kick in the door.
We play to win the game.
All you heard was Papa,
Hello?
don't hit me no more. Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. All you heard was Papa, don't hit me no more. Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. All you heard was Papa, don't hit me no more. On your mark, get set. When I spark, you wet. Look how dark you get when you mark for death. Should I start your breath or should I let you die? In fear, you start to cry. Ask why. Lyrically, I'm worship. Don't front the word sick. You cursed it, but rehearsed it. I drop.
Let's go to eat a damn